Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last little 2-video mini-series on iconic artist Elton John. And through a few of his songs, we looked at the fact that the world resonates. It really, really does when we truly are ourselves. And this will and truly applies to the guy today as well. So the story starts, and you cannot have a music series and not talk about the grandfather of rock and roll. Of course, his story started in 1926 in St. Louis. Very much pioneered rock and roll through his swagger, his attitude, his iconic guitar riffs and guitar solos, his incredible songwriting, and just the way he was on stage. He well and truly brought his audiences along with him. And through his companion guitar Maybelline, he ripped up the floorboards of many a concert hall around the world. Who we're talking about? Chuck Berry. Now, between 1957 and 2017, there were 20 studio albums. Now, interestingly, one of those albums was released after his death, and apparently around 2,000 copies were sold on the day he died. Just goes to show how significant this guy has been over so many years. 20 studio albums, 12 live albums, 31 compilation albums, 45 singles, and 2 soundtracks. So that's a pretty impressive bit of output right there. He was one of the first to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986. Rolling Stone in both 2004 and 2011 put him the 5th greatest artist of all time. So that's pretty big accolade right there. When the Voyager space shuttle went up in 1977 up to space, they put a record, the Voyager Golden Record, just a whole heap of songs to categorise the culture of Earth, and Johnny B. Goode was one of the songs that was put on that album. So that's a pretty significant thing right there. And the Kennedy Center has honoured him, which is a very significant thing indeed. People such as Led Zeppelin and Sesame Street and Billy Joel have all been honoured there. So by the end of the 1950s, Chuck Berry was an absolute superstar. And even in performing pretty much most of those years, and certainly in the 1980s, he was doing between 70 and 100 shows a year. And the great thing about those shows was that he would grab a bunch of local guys and they would back him. So he didn't have his own sort of little he didn't have his own band. He would use the band wherever he went. So that was pretty cool. It was estimated when he died, his estate was worth about $50 million. That was mainly due to rights, both songwriting rights and also publishing rights. And so, you know, he certainly did do quite well out of music, but he also gave so much to music as well. So very much a major influence in the world of rock music, that is for sure. And now let's get on to the clips. And I might as well talk about the clips below as we go today. It's just going to be easier to do that, I'm thinking. So, of course, we have Johnny B. Goode. We've already talked about this a little bit already. Rolling Stone put this 7th of the 5 in their 500 greatest songs of all time. And the Grammys put this into their Hall of Fame as well. It's a song very much about a guy who thought he could play the guitar really well, and he actually really could, and he decided actually I could have a career with this thing, and so he became the leader of a great big band. So this is very much Johnny B. Goode's story, and almost a little bit of Chuck Berry's story as well in lots of ways. So we've got go all the way back in 1958. We've got video footage from there, and just look at the audience here. They're kind of getting into it. There, Chuck Berry in his normal, typical, just overwhelming style that he's got, really giving his all in this performance. And how good's the band behind him, by the way, as well. And the audience is just kind of clapping along the best they can. Shoot forward to another video, I think probably in the 1990s, I think. This is with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. This is well and truly an arena rock performance, this one. And look how many people are in the audience, and look at the difference between the 1958 crowd and this crowd here. They're really, really getting into it here because they know they're witnessing an absolute master playing one of the best songs of all time. And of course, you put Bruce Springsteen up there as well. What can we say? It's just a all-time, all-round experience. So that one's there as well. We then got Roll Over Beethoven, I should say, very much giving a nod to the classical masters of the past, because if it wasn't for people like Beethoven, we wouldn't actually have rock and roll music. Now, I just back on Johnny B. Goode for a second. Of course, few people have actually covered this song, including Marty McFly in Back to the Future. And so what we're going to actually do is we're going to actually look at Michael J. Fox next time, because I thought we needed to give him a bit of a nod, and his story is quite fascinating as well. Anyway, back to Roll Over Beethoven, giving a nod to the masters of the past, but Chuck Berry at the beginning saying, hey mate, you may want to cover your ears here because we've got something new for you. So roll over, mate, get out of our way, because this one's coming through. So this is a single released in 1956. And again, going back a little way in his career here to see how Chuck Berry was in his earlier years. We then have Rock and Roll Music. Now, this song came out in 1957. This song was covered by the Beatles. What more can we say right there? Covered by the Beatles. Also, Mental as Anything with a movie that Yahoo Serious was in a little while back as well. This particular video is with Tina Turner, so that's just an added bonus for all of you. You just get to see what Chuck Berry is like. He really is an encourager. He really does like playing with other people, and he really loves to give other people a go. And so, you know, we've got the pretty good video here with Tina Turner. And so I think the story from Chuck Berry today is very, very simple, and that is music is best played when you play it with other people. Music is best done when you can encourage people along the way and to make them feel good about their art, because at the end of the day, we all get a start at some point. We all need someone who can get alongside us and give us a bit of a go. And because Chuck Berry had that himself, he was able to do that over many, many years with his career and create what is an absolute legacy that will be with us probably forever, I'm thinking. Chuck Berry is an absolute legend of the industry, what can we say? And a bit of a sad day when he left us in March 2017. So there we go, Chuck Berry today. Now, all of the links to all of those 4 videos are in the description below. So that's where you'll find them. Feel free to click on them and have a bit of a reminisce of the master of Chuck Berry. Well, if you've come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflection Through Music, welcome to everybody. It's so great to see you all here. And the encouragement always is, as you've probably done here, to hang around to the end, because you may find these videos encouraging. Well, that's it for today. As I've hinted at already, next time we're going to look at what's considered one of the greatest rock performances in movie history next time. And that is from Michael J. Fox, and also just a little bit more about him, because Chuck Berry really and truly inspired him. And so I thought, yeah, let's give Michael J. Fox a little bit of a go next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.